Do you have any problem being taped?
No.
Okay, thank you. So welcome to the GEO program. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we want to ask you is, can you tell us about yourself, your background in coursework, and how it makes you suitable for the program?
So I'm a very hardworking person and I'm dedicated. I love hands-on projects and anything really kind of that I can build. Like I like a lot of 3D kind of building. My background, I was born and raised in the Caribbean, so um, being there, I had a lot of kind of weather and um, water and outdoors experience, which is when I first kind of realized that I really enjoyed like really stormy weather and rough waters. And um, then I moved here when I was 7, and I moved here for schooling because I'm dyslexic, so it's a better education system here than in Dominica, which is the island I'm from. And so I moved here, and I've been here ever since, just going to Wiles Elementary, and then Kanapaha Middle School, Buholtz, and now Santa Fe. My coursework, since it's my first year here at Santa Fe, I am just kind of doing my basic studies to get my AA degree, and then transfer over to UF for after I finish to get my major.
Okay, great. Bobby, you want to go next?
Sure. Can you tell us about your approach to a challenging situation?
So I guess my approach would be, first I would obviously like read the directions and see what the situation had asked for, and then I would um, do as much research as I possibly could, and um, I think in the email it said trial and error. So of course I'm not afraid to ask for help. I do ask for help, but I would ask after I could not figure it out. Like I would trial and error and try and do all the things until I just needed some sort of hint to get me back on the right track.
Great, thanks. All right, Brandon.
All right. So here at the Science Center, a lot of our guests and the general public tend to be families with small children. Can you tell me a little bit about any experience you have working or volunteering with the general public, and any experience you might have working with kids?
So I've been in Girl Scouts since I was in 4th grade, and I moved my way up. So now technically I'm a leader because I'm 18, and so I'm part of this cast, which is the Cadet Ambassador Senior Team. So we plan and provide all of the Girl Scout activities. So like the Girl Scout ball, we plan for 8 months, and then we plan the Girl Scout service unit, which is like our end of the year camp out, and all of that has to do with me working with other girls that are part of cast to get them in, so we can put on a great production for the younger girls at the camp out. Also during the summer, I'm a camp counselor with the Hippodrome Theater. They have a toddler or like a mini camp with 5 and 6-year-olds, so I do that for half day. And then I've also volunteered. I volunteer every year with the Spring Arts Festival that Santa Fe has, and I before I became a juror's assistant, I was working in the children's tent center, where I helped the kids plan, or we put up the activities that they have in the tent center, and broke it up and broke it down and set it up, and just any help around with the kids in that area.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what you did as the camp counselor for the 5 and 6-year-olds? Like, what was a day like?
So the day started at 9, like the big kid camp, and it only lasted for 2 weeks. So we would kind of introduce, we would play like a name game so we could all get to know each other, and after that we just move on to then snack and play little like improv games or monkey around the corner, and they get to make up their own storyline. So at the end of the 2 weeks, they have a play where we have a stage that the tech people make for us, and so then they get a like they can create their own characters. They get to make their own costumes, and so we just put on by the end of the time it should have a they should have a play that they created. So it's just all kind of a theater workshop improv 2 weeks.
And I'm going to ask one more follow-up, Heidi.
Sure.
Can you tell me which of all of these experiences did you find the most rewarding?
Well, I think that they're each rewarding kind of in their different each by themselves. They're a different kind of reward, because with the Hippodrome one, I get to work with younger kids that need kind of more help with their like day-to-day kind of things. But while being a cast member in Girl Scouts, you have a wide range of ages, so it's not just the like really young group of kids that you have to work with. So there's a whole bunch of different levels. And then as for the Spring Arts kids area, they have it's a little less hands-on, because there's way more volunteers that are there helping, and their parents are there, and it's kind of like quick in and out self activities. So I can't really give you the most rewarding, because they're all kind of rewarding in their each different way.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Can I ask a follow-up for this question?
Mm-hmm.
So you described CAST as Girl Scout activity. Is that for the entire district that you plan the Girl Scout ball and the camp out activity, or is it just for one particular smaller group of Girl Scouts?
So the Girl Scout, we have like there's 4 sections within. I'm pretty sure it's Alachua County that we have 4 sections, and so I'm part of section 4, or like the Alachua. So I guess it's all over kind of in North Florida. We have our 4 sections, and so I'm just part of section 4. So anyone can really come to the Girl Scout Service Unit Camp Out or the Girl Scout Ball or Thinking Day. But as for CAST, we plan all of section 4 activities.
And then it's planning, but on the day of the activity, is there a responsibility that you have?
Yes, so we plan for each activity for about 8 months, and then we meet once a month, and so along each month we have like work days. So we would be working on, like for the ball, the centerpieces of the table, or if it was a camp out, be working on one of the other girls in CAST, their activity, like making slime, or the water activity if it was, depending on which activity they had. And then come day of is when it kind of all gets thrown together, and it just, instead of having each day, everything is just that we made for the activity is just put out, and it all comes together.
Okay, good, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go on to question 4. How do you manage your time and prioritize tasks? How would you juggle course requirements, for example, work requirements, and the requirements of the GEO program, and any other responsibilities you have?
So I always do. I'm always on time with my work. I don't like being late. So, I always, if I can't turn it in the day of, it's turned in before. Hopefully I can get it turned in before. I must say that I do procrastinate. Especially with things that I don't really enjoy doing, and I'm bad kind of with procrastination, but I'm working on it. And I feel like the most important thing should be the start. Like, I should start with the most important thing, and if there's time to do, say, like an easier step, then that can go along with, after taking a break from the hard work of the most important, kind of to cool down, go to the easier step.
Okay. Anyone want to follow up?
I have a quick follow-up. Can you tell me, you said you're working on it, what are you doing to work on it?
Well, I have a happy planner, which is like this planner that you put stickers in and you kind of decorate so it makes your own. So I make sure that I keep to my If I say I have this due and I need to start on it on Sunday and it's due on Wednesday, I make sure that I start on it on Sunday at the scheduled time for whatever time I have it in my Happy Planner.
Has that been successful for you so far?
It has been successful. It's been most of my homework is due from online, like we do Canvas, and I do that the day of, especially if it's on like Fridays and I have the weekend coming up. I do it before, so I don't have to worry about in case I get sidetracked over the weekend, and then it's hard to do work really over the weekend. So I don't. I make sure I do it before if I know I have a busy weekend, but it's been very successful, especially with like my dogs and house chores.
Bobby.
So if you were selected for the GEO program, you would be expected to be available summer A and to continue working on research with your mentor 10 hours per week. If you were interested in the Orlando Science Center internship, you would be required to do it during summer B. Do you have any plans that would conflict with these summer expectations and requirements?
No.
You don't have Girl Scout commitments this year?
Because since I'm 18, so I'm not technically in a Girl Scouts anymore. I'm considered now a leader, but I would have to go through kind of training and to be a leader. So I'm just kind of like a floater in Girl Scouts. I still go to the meetings and I still help the girls and I still participate in all the Girl Scout activities, but I'm not selling like Girl Scout cookies or the nut and candy because I'm not allowed to because of my age. So, but they're lenient. My troop leader is lenient enough that she understands if I have other requirements because I can't always be there to be the head. Someone else has to take my position and I have to step back from that.
Were you planning to take classes during summer A, summer B, summer C?
I had not thought. I'm sure I might have, but I haven't really thought that far ahead. I just know if I was to be accepted into the geosciences that would come first, and depending on if I was accepted, then I would probably try and have a more relaxed summer and not have to worry about other classes so I could focus more on the geoscience.
Brandon, did you want to ask your question?
So usually what I like to ask is just, in your own words, what do you think you're signing up for? What do you think the program is at this point? And it gives us a chance to sort of make sure that we're both on the same page.
So I think that the program is kind of having to do with, like, when I was signing up for the mentor, I saw like there was the weather, so I kind of feel like it has to do with, obviously it's science because that's in the title, and geo, so it's kind of like earth and geography kind of, and I really like the weather portion, like the storms and like the the cold fronts that we get after a rain, and just more, I like weather.
So you're excited to learn about the weather portion of the mentorship.
Yes.
So here's probably where we should explain what the program entails is a class with me, a seminar with your peers. So we actually have built the program to have a cohort so that you will be with your peers and you're actually going to drag each other through the program. So that'll be in the spring. And in the spring you start research with your selected mentors. So there are 3, and it sounds like you have a pretty strong thought on which one you want to work with. In summer A, you're going to need to work with your mentor quite a lot. At the internship, you'll take some of the work you did with your UF mentor and you'll go and work with Brandon and his team in Orlando. And then we finish it off in the fall. You're going to present at the Orlando Science Center your final project. You're going to present your research in some format. It could be a professional meeting. It could be here at the Honors Symposium. And we're going to help you with your transfer to a 4-year college in that fall semester. So it's a whole year commitment. So we feel pretty strongly that we should let you know what you're signing up
right.
for. So that's the thing. So is there anything else you want to add or any other questions you have?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Well done.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.